wouldn't say California, but the whole of the states. But the whole of the United States has at least minimum 10 times more people in prison per head of population than anywhere on earth. Well, California has like double that apparently, something phenomenal. And they're desperately trying to get rid of some of the prisons now. They're letting out some of the juveniles, you know. There's a law in California that if you get arrested for the 3rd time and sentenced, even for stealing a video, mandatory life sentence. There are thousands and thousands of people with mandatory life sentence for even just, you know, minor felonies, yeah?
I think that law has been trying to be repealed.
Many times, but the California people, they do their voting and they all freak out because everybody can't stand the thought of criminals on the streets.
Since you mentioned this,
yeah.
I think it's in keeping to mention that there's a story where the man whose daughter was murdered in front of a popular restaurant, he was put on the radio, and he created the organization that created 3 strikes.
Oh, I see.
In jail.
Yeah, there you go.
And they mentioned another case where a woman's child was molested and killed.
Yes.
And another person arrived on her doorstep on the day of the death and said, "These are all the appeals I've gone through. The murderer never got put in jail.
Okay.
It's destroyed my life and all my relationships.
Sure.
This is what it's going to be."
Okay.
So she decided that she would choose to function like a Shaker or a Amish person or a Huguenot.
Yeah.
And basically go with the idea that she would forgive the killer.
I see. Amazing. Incredible.
And not proceed to create
That's
an
incredible.
organization.
That's right, incredible. Amazing.
To create the...
Yeah, I've heard many amazing stories like this. I remember, and that's very, very special, isn't it?
I mentioned one other thing.
Yes,
the man who did this, he was very proud that every day 6 murders didn't happen because they put all those people in the jail.
I understand.
So the discussion fleshed out was it really? Because there are many people, I'm sure you've had them write you, that got put in jail for the pizza.
That's right.
So this is why it's always implicated. Your actions, you are in jail all the time, having to decide what to do.
And it's really hard to, I mean, that's right. It must be it must be so hard, yes. But all I can do is deal with it on a personal level, you know, isn't it? That's my job. But yes, all the things you're saying are so important. But this, and this is the thing, like, you know, if I look at Singapore, they're very strict there with their rules. And they, you know, Singapore and some of those countries in Asia, but especially Singapore, where it's really said to be a very moral country, they have a rule that if you're a certain amount of drugs, you will get mandatory death sentence. There's no appeals. So they almost have no bad crimes. Because it seems to work there, but it doesn't seem to work in the United States. So people ought to get that learning. It doesn't seem to work. The more you have death row, the more, it doesn't seem to stop the crime. People say crime is continuing to increase, incarceration is increasing. So it's really hard to look at it reasonably and rationally, isn't it?
Okay.
Can read Chomsky and then understand it.
Pardon?
In the States, Chomsky wrote a book about it.
What was his view?
His view was, well, first of all, America makes money. I also have a double nationality, American passport. I can criticize American.
Okay, good.
America makes money through prisons.
Yes.
The food industry. And they also, they cannot, first of all, they cannot have all these people absorbed to work. So they put, I don't know, blacks, Mexicans, whatever, drugs into their system, society, so they can excuse the police. So people would want the police for safety and government and have me and police and fear, so people are in a state of fear. And then the prisons, they put the prisoners to work, and they're private prisons.
Well, not the majority are private.
Well, anyway, some of them, but their private are increasing, so they're gaining money, and it's the whole system that it's their interest, and also that's why he explained in the old days the blacks had a lower education than the whites.
Yeah, that's right.
And instead of increasing the education higher, they put the whites' education lower than the blacks. So they basically want them. They cannot absorb them. They want them to be criminals. They want them to.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? I know this. It's interesting. I know. It's interesting. Okay, so what time's dinner?
We finish at 7.
We finish the day at 7.
Yeah.
The day is over at 7.
Over.
Okay. Okay. So do you want to have a tea break?
Yeah.
Have a tea break and come back and we'll kind of finish at 7. We'll have a little tea break, like 20-minute tea break, because it's 6 o'clock already, 10 to 6.
6:10.
6:10, come back, yeah.
Now it's 10 to